Welcome back to Street Pigeon MTB. In today's episode I'm going to be looking at the Fox Ranger pant and I'm going to be telling you whether or not I think you should be spending your hard-earned cash on this. Okay, so I'm going to tell you a bit about the Fox Ranger pant. So basically Fox described this as a technical mountain biking pants. Reading through the spiel here, basically what they say is they offer a performance focused fit. Now what that means is they offer quite a tight fit. They do a range of sizes and they're available from a 28 waist up to a 38 inch waist. They kind of sell them along the lines of being ultralight and also being practical, so having pockets and things that actually make them handy out on the trail. You can get them in the UK for £70. I've seen them for just under that, like £69.50, but you're talking £70. Come in the black, as discussed and shown on today's video. They also come in a colour called pewter, which is a kind of lightish grey. So I've been riding them now for a wee while and I think I've actually built up a pretty good picture of the kind of pros and the cons. And today what I'm going to do is try and tell you what I think of them from a rider's perspective. So first of all, let's get to the really good points about the pant. Basically, I think look-wise, they look really good. Certainly that kind of fashion, that more sort of performance fit, as they would say, that tighter look is really in at the moment. And I think you can see the way that that's come from racing and down into the sort of customer. And I actually think it looks really good. It looks really smart. It has a sort of practical advantage as well though. It kind of keeps stuff out of the way, so you're not catching clothing on stuff as the trail. But it also adds a little bit of protection. Not just protection from the ground, but protection from the mud, the elements. We've just come out of kind of one of the wettest winters on record in the UK. And although it didn't rain all the time, the trails were constantly wet. And it was brilliant to be able to just have the trousers, get them covered in mud, and then just like take them off and not have you scraping all the stuff off your legs, which always happens when you've got shorts on. So some aspects of the fit are really good. I went for the size medium because I'm a 32 inch waist, and actually round the waist and round your backside it's really good. It just feels perfect, and I think they've got their sizing really good there. Another thing that I really rate is the cost. So when I was looking for mountain biking pants and enduro pants, the issue that I noticed straight away was the cost. You know, you can be spending easily over £100. This does put me off a bit, especially as with these ones. These were going to be the first sort of MTB trousers I really had. And you know, you don't really want to be spending that amount of money and then finding out they're just not for you. So £70 I think is really reasonable, and if you're just starting off and you want to try these for the first time, I think that's not a bad price point to come in at. I like that the pants are really lightweight. That's something you notice out on the trail. Well, you notice that you don't notice them, and I really appreciate that. You know, you don't want to be getting like niggles and losing concentration because of ill-fitting clothing. So I really do like that. They're really lightweight. The other thing I like as well is they're really breathable. I was a bit worried that having my kind of legs enclosed in material was going to be an issue, but actually I've not had any issues with overheating and I've found it really comfortable to wear. So another thing that's pretty good about them is the material has enough flex for you to move freely, but also enough flex to put on protection and knee pads. Now, generally, they're obviously kind of designed to work with more lightweight knee pads. There's kind of maybe the sort of more enduro style knee pads, which I have. I have tried them with sort of bigger, harder casing knee pads. They do actually fit. However, I would say that firstly, it looks a bit crazy, and second of all, the material feels really tight over that to the point where I think if you crashed it or came off, it could well tear the material. So definitely you can wear pads, but we're talking about the kind of lighter enduro style pads. Finally, they seem to wash really well, which again is a consideration here in the UK when you have muddy trails and you're having to clean clothes a lot. There's nothing worse than clothing that just fades instantly, and I haven't noticed that The other thing that's been really good is the graphics. So there's little things like the Fox logo and stuff. They haven't started to come off. I've had some mountain bike clothing in the past where those things have not been too robust, and that's always been a frustration if you spend a lot of money and things like that come off. So I've been really impressed with just the kind of the build quality and the robustness so far. So let me get to the points that's not so good, and to be fair, I actually don't have a lot of points that aren't so good. My criticism really is about the sizing, but I need to explain that a bit more. I'm 6'3" with a 32-inch waist, so I'm what they would call in this country pretty lanky, tall and slim. Now it's really difficult to get clothing that fits, so I had to go for a medium waist, and what this means is the trousers do come up a bit short. Now I think with this style of trouser it doesn't matter because they're tight to your legs anyway, so as long as you wear some nice black socks to go with it, or actually get some like pretty decent looking funky socks, then I think it works quite well. I had initially thought a workaround to this would be by upsizing, so in my case going for the next size waist up, you know, maybe sacrificing a bit of fit around the hips but having a longer leg. The strange thing that I find is when you go the next level up from the medium is although the waist increases, the leg does not. So that would be my criticism. I think for most riders, sort of 6 foot and under, the fit's going to be actually perfect. However, if you're starting to get to the more kind of extreme builds, lanky like me or possibly pretty squat, then of course you could question the sizing. But that is just a kind of minor quibble. So would I recommend them? Yeah, I would. I think, you know, as a sort of budget MTB trouser, they're really good. I've certainly had a really good experience with them. As I say, lots of positives outweighed by a sizing issue, which is potentially a sizing issue because I'm not particularly normal size. But anyway, that's my opinions. I hope you found it helpful. Please, if you've got any questions about them, just ask them in the comments below and I'll try and answer. Also, if you actually ride with the trousers themselves and you've maybe got some other advantages or disadvantages, post them in the comments so people can see and get a kind of picture for what they're like. Okay, well listen, I hope you enjoyed that. We'll see you again soon, probably for some more vlogging, probably some more trail action, and maybe a few more of these reviews. Take care, bye.